kids, remember me? Today we're going to talk about the 2-week rule. What the hell is the 2-week rule? I think I can be of some assistance here. The 2-week rule is where you go out with your bros and you get a bunch of numbers from chicks and you don't call or text them for 2 weeks. Peace. Technically that's true, but not in this scenario. But we'll do a different video on that one later. What we're talking about, the 2-week rule now, is how what you do now affects the future. For example, decisions you make now for the next 2 weeks will affect the next 2 weeks. And we can blow that up and look at months and years. If it's eating, if it's exercise, if it's learning, if it's working. Work's a good example. You work for 2 weeks and then you get paid, and that money is supposed to last you for the next 2 weeks. You put in the work, then you get a payoff later. What happens is your efforts compound on top of each other and you develop negative or positive momentum depending on what you're doing. So for example, if you go, I'm just gonna have that cookie. I'm just gonna have that beer. I'm just gonna have that one cigarette, right? You don't think that one isolated moment really matters, but the problem is it's never just one isolated moment, is it? It always turns into 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you find a justification for it. Well, I walked up the stairs today so I can have that cookie, or well, I'm gonna quit here real soon. I'm just really stressed out at work. I'm gonna stop smoking, or I'm gonna stop drinking as much. It compounds, and then before you know it, you're in a shitty position because these little decisions you made add up over time and time again. So whether it be the calories from that one extra cookie, or that that one extra beer, or that one extra cigarette, over time they're gonna add up and they're gonna have detrimental effects on your goals than your health, most likely. On the flip side of things, you go, I have 10 minutes, I could do a few push-ups, but what is it? It's like, what, 15, 20 push-ups? Like, that's not gonna be enough. What you need to understand is that compounds over time too. So it's not just the negatives that compound over time, it's the positives as well. So if you're about to do something and you go, well, I don't have enough time for it, can you do just a little bit of it? Like reading. If you go, I don't have time to read any books, can you read 1 page? Do you have time to read 1 page? Well, yeah, I have time to read 1 page, but it's just 1 page. Right, but if it's a 300-page book, and you have moments that you can read 1 page, you add up 300 of those, now you've got through an entire book. But we think that we have to chunk it up. We think we have to look at it in one big solid chunk and go, well, I can't handle this, so then I can't handle any of it. And that's just not true. What you need to do is think about how your actions now affect the future. So what we're doing is we're looking at how we expect certain things to happen the way we want them to happen based on our expectations. So when it comes to fitness, that's why so many people drop out when it comes to their New Year's resolutions to get in better shape, is because they have a picture of what they want to happen when they start exercising and eating better and following the rules and doing what they're supposed to do, and they don't see the results that they want in their mind. They're getting results as long as you show up. Here's how the 2-week rule works. If you show up consistently, let's say it's the gym, it's a good example. You show up consistently to the gym every single day for 2 weeks, and you make a solid commitment to your diet for 2 weeks, you will start to see results. Now, if your ideal mindset is like, well, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna work out, and after 2 weeks, I'm gonna be shredded. That's not gonna happen. That's not how it works. But you'll start to feel stronger. Your clothes will start to fit better. You'll start to look better. You'll have more energy. Okay, you'll get results. They just might not be the results that you were looking for specifically. But if you continue to do what you're supposed to do, eventually your vision of what you're trying to achieve will come to life in reality. You just have to stick with it. Now the 2-week rule, that's something that I learned personally when I was trying to change my body composition. I was trying to get lean, like leaner than I've ever been. I was just messing with it, but I took pictures as I went. And I found that after about 2 weeks, that's when I started to see a transformation. Now everything that you do during 1 week, you might not see any change in that 1 week, but it's the next week that you might start to see some changes. And if you don't, then it's gonna be the week after. Eventually, you're gonna start to see these changes. If I get slack about certain things, maybe I just eat one extra meal a day or that one extra snack. And for the first week, I don't notice anything. But that second week, I start to see changes and differences. I'm like, wait, well, I'm not as lean as I was. Oh shit, well maybe it's because the extra bag of chips I ate or whatever it happened to be. The stuff adds up over time, but you don't see it right away. You see it later on. And by the time you see it, it's already too late. Now, and that's for the negative side of things, but for the positive side of things, you have to stick in there long enough to understand that you're not going to see the results you want, not until it's too late, but until later. So if you decide that you want to pick up a book on marketing, you want to get better at learning about marketing, you got to stick it out. You got to continue to learn and learn and learn and learn and not get any results and be okay with that for a year. And then after that year, maybe you start to see things come together and you start to make money. Whatever the case is, insert whatever your passion or whatever your interest is there, but you gotta stick it out. And you can't go off of like, well, I'm not seeing the results. Guaranteed there are results. If you do something consistently for a month, okay? Sit down after you've been doing it for a month and look at who you were before and look at who you are after. You have results, guaranteed. You've created some kind of output. As long as you put in the work, there's something that'll pay off, absolutely. You just have to stick in there long enough to get that final payoff, that one thing that you're really looking for. It'll come, you just gotta stick it out. Your actions now affect the future. You're not gonna see the results you want today, tomorrow, this week, next week, but chunk it up. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year. That's when you really start to see the results. And you have to be specific. You have to pick out all the I call them the wins, right? All the wins you've had, all the successes, like the little things. Like you look at yourself, who you are this year compared to last year, and say this year you wanted to be a millionaire, right? And you put in all this work to become a millionaire. And your bank account doesn't say you're a millionaire. You don't have the $1 million result you want, but guaranteed you have some other result that you can look at and be like, wow, well, compared to what it was last year, I'm closer to being the person who makes $1 million than I was last year. So it's only a matter of time before everything falls into place and you line it up and you're rolling in that money though, you know what I'm saying? All right, so go out there, be awesome. Remember, give it time, 2-week rule, test it out, see how it works. It's gonna work because I know what I'm talking about. Again, I'm wearing glasses, they make me 30% smarter. You got this shit.